Hey, it's Clay. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to take a look at this pink Telecaster. Specifically, we're going to talk about shielding, right ways to do it, wrong ways to do it, and hopefully take this guitar from one that's kind of been, honestly, a real nuisance and just a pain in the rear, and turn it into something that is quite a bit better and more useful and just a great sounding guitar in my arsenal. So if you're curious about that, stick around. Okay, so I think the best way I can highlight the problems I've had with this guitar is just to play a clip. I was recording a video as related to the high voltage tube overdrive pedal. If you haven't seen that series, please check it out because I really love the way that pedal turned out. When I was playing with this guitar, it just is a really crackly mess, and I've had this with other guitars, but this one is especially bad. Basically, anytime when you're strumming, when you've got the pickguard on here like normal, your finger kind of comes into contact with when you're strumming through here, the part of the pick or part of your finger will come into contact with the top of the pickguard. And on this instrument, as you'll hear in the clip, it was generating a little bit of a fuzzy, staticky, crackly type of a noise. Now, I've had that issue with this guitar the worst, but I've also had this come up with other guitars. And so let's talk a little bit about what's going on here and maybe ways that you can fix it, good ideas, bad ideas, all the above. Now, with this guitar, I'm running a plastic pickguard. It's 3-ply. Plastic in no way, shape, or form will interfere with any of the electronics. What I did, though, is I had put this tinfoil on here years ago, before I maybe even really understood what I was doing. I just glued some kitchen tinfoil onto the back of this pickguard, thinking, hey, it's going to offer me some shielding, maybe hopefully, quiet down some noise. And what really happened, the problem with it, though, is I put this shielding on there, but it's not connected to the circuit in any way. So one of the things that you can learn is if you're going to apply shielding, you have to ground it, meaning you have to take a wire or connect it in some way to the ground in your circuit. So each of your pickups should have at least 2 wires. One will be a hot wire, the other one will be a ground wire. You can see in here I've got a white and a black from the neck pickup. Well, the black from this pickup and the ground from this, the ground wire that's connected to the bridge, the ground wire on my pot, and the ground wire on my output jack. All those ground wires are connected to one another to form the ground circuit. And then they go into the ground or the sleeve of the guitar cable, which goes into the amplifier, and then that grounds through the safety earth ground in the amplifier. So in this situation, though, by putting this shielding on here, but it's just sitting on top of the wood, it's not interacting with the circuit at all. So what I'd like to try is adding a wire that sits in here and through pressure provides, just kind of sits up against this tinfoil and grounds it. And I'm pretty optimistic then that will actually add this as shielding, and so provide a little bit of noise rejection, and also it looks quite a bit better with the pickguard than without. And then that's going to be the optimal way to shield this guitar. One other comment I do want to make, though, is while some shielding is certainly better than none, I would also say this is not the optimal way to do shielding. I think if you're going to do shielding, it would probably be better to shield the cavity that the wires travel in and focus more on this area, the control cavity. This piece of plastic on here will only kind of shield stuff that's coming this direction, so really isn't going to offer a ton. Whereas if this cavity here was shielded, and if the control cavity here on the back side was shielded, talking about this spot here, that would provide probably a better method of shielding than focusing on the pickguard. But the pickguard is kind of an easy way to do shielding. So again, if you're going to do it, don't make the mistake that I did. Learn from my error and ground it. Now I've stripped away quite a bit of the lead on this wire because what I'm going to do is actually, I'm not going to solder it. What I'm probably going to do is pressure fit it. And so, and maybe use tape or some kind of adhesive, but I'm not going to solder it to the tinfoil because I don't think the tinfoil can handle it. So I'm going to feed this wire here into the pickup cavity. Alright, now this is the inside of my control cavity. It's certainly not the prettiest wiring in the world, but I'm not too stuffed up about it. I just have one volume control, and all of my grounds are starred here on the back of this volume pot. Now, I don't really love wiring the back of a volume pot. It's kind of tricky to get everything to stick on there, but I managed to get a good solid joint here. So I've got this green wire here. This is my pickguard ground. I've got this green wire here, which is the one that's coming from the bottom of the bridge, and then I've got one from each of the pickups, I got one from the switch, and I got one going out to the output jack. So all my grounds are right here. So I've basically just added this ground wire from the bottom of the pickguard to ground that out. Alright, so I got the guitar plugged in, I'm going DI, just immediately noticing, got my volume up, I can scratch all over this pickguard, and it is silent. There's no noise, there's no crackling. This is 10 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you've got a pickguard on a Fender guitar of any kind, and you're getting a little bit of staticky, scratchy noise, you got to get a ground wire in there and connect it to the ground of the rest of your circuit. And to be real straight with you guys, this is kind of a no reason not to type situation. All you're doing is connecting your shielding to grounding, gonna silence some noise, bring the noise level on the guitar down overall, and quiet that thing up. So hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. See you guys again soon. Thanks. Bye.